the hasty scheme of things, I forgot my major criteria. Okay, fine. So there is no rhyme. There is no rhyme, no reason to enjoy the sounds of this season. There are times to remember, times to forget. So stomp your feet and have loads of fun. So now we move on to the prepared speeches. And the first prepared speech is going to be a CC2 project. Can I request the evaluator, Lata, to read out the project's objectives of the project?
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Today's speaker Ramesh is attempting his CC2 project. He is organizing a speech. The objectives for this project is select an appropriate outline which allows listeners to easily follow and understand your speech. Make your message clear with the supporting materials directly contributing to that message. Use appropriate transitions when moving from one idea to another. Create a strong opening and conclusion. Timer to know, time is 5 to 7 minutes. All the best, Ramesh.
The speaker today, the first speaker for today is a very, very new speaker for this club. He is just over 4 weeks old and already he has given one project. And through this project we came to know that he is a haiku specialist. Now, if those of you who don't know haiku, don't think it is some kind of a taekwondo or it's a poetry writing. It's a kind of poetry writing, a very specialized art form, poetry, very famous for, it's very famous in Japan. It's originated in Japan. So he is a specialist in haiku and he has given multiple, has been given multiple awards across the world. He has received multiple awards from across the world. So that is our next speaker, and his speech is going to be First Love at 5. First Love at 5, Ramesh Anand.
Do you remember the first boy or girl who made you laugh, cry, fight, tease, or even yell, and made you realize over the years that he or she was your first love? Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, and guest. When I was 3, the powerful media at my home was radio, and the most powerful media was my grandmother. My grandmother dictatorially decided that I can play for 1 more year and go to school at the age of 4. When I was 4, I joined the school and I was tallest in the class. I was tallest in the class. So after a year of school, during the summer holidays, the result was announced and I was adjudged failed. Miss Benny, the class teacher, showed the answer sheet to my mother. My mother was extremely surprised to see that I had written the ABCD from right to left and also in the reverse direction. Miss Benny suggested to my mother that I better be converted from being a left-hander to a right-hander. My mother, in discussion with my grandmother, decided I better study LKG for 1 more year. Meanwhile, a small family of 3 members rented our first floor mini 1 BHK house. My mother walked me upstairs to introduce me to the auntie and the family. Auntie called someone by name Karpagam. Karpagam appeared from auntie's behind and held the auntie's sari very tightly. At the age of 3, she was chubby, tall and beautiful in bluish green eyes. It was the first day of Karpagam's first year school and it was my first year of my second year school. Our school was on the other side of our home on the same street. On the first day of school, Karpagam walked downstairs and called me Ramesh, Ramesh! I gently opened the door. Karpagam was dressed in Binda's red frock and white shirt. Her hair was neatly braided and tightly ribboned in Binda's red color. The half-moon-shaped earrings in Binda's red color was tightly held to her ears. Her white shoes were neatly polished and her white socks were gently covering the silver anklets. Her Binda's red bindi on the forehead was still wet. I led Karpagam to the school and also to the classroom. While Karpagam sat on the front row, I went back and sat on the last row, joining my fellow failed friend. After the first few days of school, it was also evident that Karpagam was smart, intelligent and clever. For all the questions asked, she answered and the whole class clapped her. For all the questions I did not answer, Miss Benny asked Karpagam to knock my head. Her knocks never pained me, but I started to study better because I once saw her puffing her closed hands out of pain knocking me. We had played several games together in the evenings. Our most favorite game was the father-mother game. During the game, she suddenly disappears into the corner of the house and sits silently. When I asked her what happened, she whispers in my ear that next 3 days I will have to do the household activities. A year passed, we both passed from LKG to UKG. While she scored first from the top, I scored first from the bottom list of past students. Few years passed. I started to study better and scored among the top 10 while she remained at the top. Our destiny began to change. We were put in different schools from 4th standard. Over the years, our intimateness faded into thin friendship. Thin friendship faded into just an acquaintance. And acquaintance faded into just a look. And after several years, now only sweet and strong memories. Memory of me closing her eyes for the hide-and-seek games. Memory of us sharing Diwali sweets. Memory of us visiting zoo. Memory of us holding hands against the waves of the Indian Ocean at the Marina Beach. With these sweet and strong memories, I know by heart that she was my first love, and it just happened when I was 5. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, it is now your time to go and dwell on your first love. Will you? Yes. Thank you, Toastmasters.
Point of view of looking at things which happened at when you were 5 or 6.